Hey everybody, this is Edward Dupas, Walden University, Week 5, Discussion 1. Okay, collaboration activity. I'm going to take a little quick analysis of the two documentaries that we were able to take a look at concerning water and the bias in the storytelling on how the message is brought across. Okay, in looking at both documentaries, A World Without Water and Blue Gold, World Water Wars, ooh, that's hard to say, you can see obvious bias. All right. Both of these documentaries specifically paint a picture of big business and government as the villain when it comes to water usage and consumption. It emphasizes the difficulties that individuals have as they try to utilize water for farming, daily life, and just basic survival in various places in the world. And there's no spot that between the two documentaries they haven't touched. They go to third world areas like in India and some in South America and in Africa, and even in major metropolitan areas like Detroit here in the United States, which has come back into the news currently with the issues going on with Flint, Michigan, and how water was tainted and contaminated, which is not covered in the documentaries, but I just like to throw that in because it's very relevant and it's surprising to see it come up just as this discussion came about. So, as large corporations like Coca-Cola, who have the equipment and funding to pump water from underground sources, are painted as a villain, and the government with paying the water bills and cutting people off during most inopportune times, that's another, viewpoint of that. Both documentaries are very direct with how they pretty much say that once this water becomes scarce, or just as these corporations and governments are treating it as a commodity, much like a valuable commodity, much like gold and precious gems, then it can cause issues, it can cause conflict, and it can cause situations where the innocent are caught in the middle. Now, the way the story is told, they've effectively created feelings of guilt that would affect the viewer. The documentary was directed specifically at first world audiences, people who don't have an issue or may not think twice about water and water usage, especially since the large corporations that we deal with on a day in, day out, like our water companies or soft drink makers and bottled water producers, they're painting them in the most negative light possible to showing how they value money over an individual's well-being. Now, each of these videos, as depicted in our text, they're showing how creating that sense of urgency, like our text kind of demonstrated in the readings for this week, as they attempt to change social and political expectations about water usage. And they use factors that were in this week's reading, like obsolescence, discussion on what will happen once the water is gone, especially like in freshwater resources. And, once a lake dries up, it dries up, as they said in one of the videos. Or with government regulations, as they demonstrate how the political environment is allowing these large corporations to make water into a tradable commodity, much like oil, like I stated, and all the valuable stuff. And they are also trying to change social and political expectations in order to create that change for everyone to go ahead and be a little more mindful of how we're utilizing water and the need for water to be in those places to, to help others and pretty much the such. The references that I used this week are located in the text of my post. I thank you very much for taking a listen. I hope I've given you all enough information, and I look forward to hearing and seeing your comments on this video. Thank you and enjoy.